Hello, welcome to Crook County Foundation's What's Brewing online edition. I'm Brandy Ebner, your executive director, and I'm joined today with Kim Daniels, the executive director of the Prineville Crook County Chamber of Commerce. Hey, Kim.
Hi, Brandy.
And I know you're not out on a dark street with a parade float behind you, but we are here. Anyway, we don't know. We are here to talk about the 2020 Christmas parade. I know many people were wondering if we were going to have a parade this year. COVID has affected every normal parade we have in this town. And so I think it was quite exciting when you announced one was going to happen, but you will have some changes coming up in order to comply with all the guidelines.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Tell us about it. When is it? Where is it? All those things.
Honestly, of all of the events we do, this was probably the easiest one to adapt, to pivot, our word of 2020, for making sure that we were following the guidelines and we're doing it safely. And so it actually worked in our favor. A lot of people know, a lot of people don't know. So we've always used 3rd Street for parades. Almost every parade in Prineville has been on 3rd Street at one time or another. And for the last year or so, we've struggled a little bit to get access to 3rd because it is ODOT owned. It is a state highway. And so every time that we ask for permission and we try and get to use that, we end up struggling because we have to go through the police department and then they have to go through ODOT. So long and short of it is, we did change the route this year. And the reason we changed the route partially was using 3rd Street, we knew would be a struggle if we would get permission at all. But the other thing is, by going down 4th Street, and I'll pull the slide up here really quick. By going down 4th Street, we're able to use 4th and use Fairview, which are very, very wide streets. There's the new route. And then we'll turn on to Lynn as well and end at the high school parking lot. All of those roads are big enough, wide enough that people can just park in their vehicles, stay warm, still watch the parade. And so that's one of the things that I honestly, as a parent that stood out in the cold during these things, I'm like, bonus right there.
Yes, so, I love that idea.
Yeah, it helps. And it does. It helps with distancing as well. But it's like, to me, I'm like, it keeps you warm. So the cops are very open to people staying in their vehicles. The main thing they ask is don't block a fire hydrant and don't block a driveway. So just be aware of where you're parking. So yeah, we got our route figured out about a week and a half ago and got that posted. So then our other things that we're doing to make sure that everything goes well is we are going to pretty much ask that everyone involved in the parade wears a mask. And I know there's some questions on that. People are like, yeah, but what if we're family members or what if we're a group? And people don't know who's family members and who's not. It is a request. It's something I'm putting out there. You know, if you can just make the effort to make it look like, well, not just make it look like, but help us have a really safe event, that would be super appreciated. So we've made a really cool purchase lately, which I will share with you. We're going to be purchasing masks so that we have them available to every parade participant. So there you have it.
I love those. It's in the spirit. I'd want to wear it just because it's a holiday spirit item.
I was a little concerned because we always say there can only be one Santa in the parade, but I don't think anyone's going to get fooled by this.
It's okay. So. That's a great way to do it, though. If we have to wear them, let's at least have fun with it, make them unified across the board. You know, it's not the chamber's rule, it is the world rule right now. Masks are kind of required everywhere. So I would hope that people can definitely put one of those great ones on and follow the guidelines. And like you said, people don't know who's together on a float. So if we all lead by good example, that'll help the whole community be able to stay safe.
Exactly. So yeah, that's one of the things we're doing. You know, we're having people just kind of fill out information. You know, just we're telling them what our expectations are before we do the parade. But I mean, more than anything, aside from the rules and the masks and the COVID and the guidelines, we just want to be able to have an event and have fun. I mean, it's like, I could talk about that stuff till I'm blue in the face, because as you and I know, it's like our world lately when you are doing an event. But we want to have fun. We want to bring something back to the community. We want to have a sense of normalcy. So we're just coming up with all kinds of different things we can do to have fun. And the masks that we're purchasing were just a way to have fun. and get out there. I'm going to reach out to some nonprofit groups around the area and see, who would like to take like a 2 or 3 block area and maybe sell hot cocoa or do something like that. So try and see if we can get those type of things available to the people that are watching the parade. If you want to sign up to have a float, you can either go on Facebook, contact us via phone or email. We can send that to you over email, or you can just come into the office and fill out an application here. It is an online application. It's a Google document, so it's fairly easy to do. But yeah, that's what we're doing for that. So
awesome. So the one thing I don't think you've mentioned yet is, when is the parade?
Okay, so right now the parade is set for November 28th. So that is this Saturday right after Thanksgiving. That day we have Small Business Saturday set, and then immediately following that will be the parade. Now, if by chance we end up being put into some type of restrictive where we can't do events, I'm just going to move it to when we're out of that window. So I'm not going, my plan is not like it's just going to get canceled and not happen. We will just try and move it. But it is for November 28th. The theme is Jingle All the Way. I did have a whole bunch of really funny themes.
Oh, I bet you could have fun with it this year.
Not everybody liked my sense of humor. Because I've been asking around, but someone was like, yeah, you got to make sure if you have a float that it has to be a burning dumpster. And I'm like, no.
We'll probably have at least one.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we're excited
to do this year is make light of it and have fun and roll with the COVID rules of, and theme. And I bet we have some pretty fun floats this year, because it's,
we even
what
thought
can you
about
do?
doing like Santa's masquerade. Like there was a whole bunch of different ideas we came up with. So, but yeah, if by chance we do get put on some type of lockdown or a temporary hold on events, I'm just planning to move it. Again, like I said, like honestly, in terms of an event, it's probably about as safe as you can get. So I'm not really concerned about us, going against any guidelines or putting anyone at risk. But then again, I also have to follow whatever rules are out there at the time. So that is what we're planning to do.
So one thing I think we're not going to see this year anywhere in most communities is an opportunity to like sit on Santa's lap for photos. I know you'll have Santa though. Heard he's going to make a visit and he's going to be in the parade route.
He is going to be in the parade route. Him and Mrs. Claus, I believe. I need to double check on her still.
Her schedule might be busy this year, but hopefully she'll make it.
Yeah.
Well, and that'll be great. Though. I think that, it's as close as we can get to a normal year. I love the parade route. I'm already thinking of places we can stage our truck and have our heaters on high and bring our own snacks and not have to go stand in the freezing cold. So I think one thing we're seeing with COVID is some of the adjustments we're making actually makes things better and might be a good permanent change. So
this is the parade route that the high school seniors used.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we got that from. That, like I said, the Prineville Police Department helped us with that. But they're really hoping to adopt this route for maybe all future parades, just because the more 3rd Street gets used, the more traffic they have, and especially when they start doing more improvements, the less it's going to be available. It's not something that Prineville, the city of Prineville, the police department, any of us have a jurisdiction over. So I'm going to guess that this 4th Street route is going to become the norm. And I know it's not what a lot of people are used to, but honestly, like I said, it's a wider road. There's more places for people.
Well, and you think
kind of works out better.
4th Street is a business district still. So I know there's been concerns about different parade routes of, am I going to sit on someone's front lawn that I don't know? But 4th Street is all lined with businesses. So it's very similar to the exact same setup of 3rd. And then, like you said, Fairview is so wide. If everybody just parks their cars along the side and we all angle where the parade's coming, you'll be able to line up both sides of that street for the whole distance and be able to see the parade well. So
absolutely.
I would guess one thing this year is candy, though. Are they going to be restricting not throwing out candy?
So like any other year, I mean, this has been a standard, is the Prineville Police Department asks that no, there's no candy thrown or tossed. It can be handed if you want to. I am recommending that we don't do it, but again, I'm not here to police. I mean, whatever you do, just make sure you do it safe. And if you're a parent with a child on the sidelines that's grabbing it and picking it up, just make sure that it's not something that's opened or has been touched by a ton of hands. You know, that's the thing. Just be safe, use common sense is what it comes down to.
Yeah, I think more than anything, it's definitely watching your kiddos and making sure they don't run out, especially with the Christmas parade being in the evening. You're bundled up in dark winter clothes and little kids running out or trying to, get on traffic. So make sure to definitely watch your kiddos and do it as safe as possible. If you're handing it out, make sure you've got your mask and gloves on as well, and we'll have a good time.
And in terms of participation for people that are actually in the parade, I mean, I will throw this out there just in case anyone watching this is planning on having a float or being on a float. It's really, really important to remember once you get on that float, you stay on it until the parade is over. There's way too many jumping on and off, back and forth. And there have been some very, very close calls over the past couple of years. And I have to say, I'm one of those people that jumped on and off last year, and I'll never do it again because I was like, that was really scary. So I learned my lesson. But that is one thing is once you get on, you're staying on until the very end. And then we are still taking entries. Right now, I believe we have 6 or 7. And if it's only 7, we're still doing it. But something I have been looking for, and I've been kind of seeking out different organizations or bands or whatever, is I want live music. So if you are part of a choir, or if you're in a band, or if you know of something, like I would love to have live music as part of this parade of just people playing different types of Christmas music. So I've been reaching out to people that if you're watching this and you haven't heard from me, we would love to have that. It would be amazing. Throw a loudspeaker on the back of your car for all I care. It's just having music in a parade is really cool. And Gary Romine has tasked me with trying to make sure this happen. So I am working on that. But yeah, we are still taking entries, and we pretty much will up until about a week before. And at that point, we'll just see where we are. We right now so La Pine, Madras, and Prineville are the only 3 communities doing a parade right now.
Wow.
So similar to anyone that was involved in Candy Crawl, you saw how our town was completely overrun. Mm-hmm. We're kind of expecting a similar outcome for the parade.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I'm just so glad that you're able to do it and you found a way. Like you said, parades are almost the most COVID safe event you can do anyway, because there's obvious distancing in between people. But being able to sit in our cars and watch it is going to be great. Are there any other Christmas festivities that the chamber's involved with you want to make sure to mention?
Yeah, well, I will start with, I mentioned Small Business Saturday that's happening prior. So we received a very generous grant from Facebook to support our small businesses with this event. So we will be putting together swag bags, which are going to be pretty desirable. So we did it last year and they were a lot of fun, but the grant money they gave us this year is going to make it so those swag bags, those goodie bags are a lot more exciting, have more items in them with bigger values. So we're starting to work on that right now. Those bags, some of them will have a value of like $25 or more. Some of them will be a little less. There will be a few ornaments that we are having custom made that will be hidden around town. And those, if they are found, will be worth, I believe, don't quote me because we haven't totally nailed it down, but I believe those ornaments will be worth a $100 gift card to one of our local businesses. And then for the swag bags, we were going to do what we did last year, which is we had everyone line up outside of Foundry 4 and the first 100 people got a free bag. Well, we don't want to do the mass crowd lineup this year. So what we're going to do instead is we are probably either going to hide those bags within our local businesses that are participating, or we will have elves around town that show up at a business and just kind of hand them out to 10 people that are randomly taking part and shopping locally. So we have that going on that morning. And then immediately following the parade, as we do every year, is the opening of Christmas in the Pines. So I recommend everyone go to that. Again, that's going to be one of the few Christmas things available in Central Oregon this year. And don't forget to take a food donation because holiday partnership is happening.
It is. Yes, we were able to do that this year. So we appreciate the donations. Christmas in the Pines, they're probably the only people who haven't had to make any adjustment because you're already just in your car driving around. So I know it's a highlight for my kids each year to go through, and the staff at the fairgrounds and all their volunteers put in so much work to get that set up. So we're looking forward to it. It sounds like we've got a great Thanksgiving weekend. It sounds as close to tradition as we can. And we've got, what we can do is celebrate Christmas together and just be appreciative that we have our health and we have a fantastic town to live in and a great chamber that's always coming up with innovative ways to pull things off. So we appreciate your guys' creativeness. It stretched us all this year to come up with unique ways to do things. So I think though it's sort of fun. For the first time we can do things differently and no one is kind of naysayer because we don't have a choice. So
well, and I will honestly say this, like having to come up with these different options, sometimes as hard as it is to not get to do it how we've always done it, now we're like, wait, this is really cool. Like we're going to do this again next year and we're going to keep doing it this way. So some of the things that we've been able to come up with, like I said, like maybe being Santa's elves, popping around town with these swag bags. And for Candy Crawl, we blocked off all the roads to give more distancing, and the parade route. Like, I think these things that we did to adapt are now going to become the norm, because it was like, we've never thought of doing this before, and it actually worked out really well. So
yeah, you saw that after the senior award ceremony and parade. I know people were really disappointed beforehand that, oh, my kid's not going to get the traditional senior graduation that the rest of us got. And then after it happened, everyone's like, but that was better than mine. Now we want to do that every year.
Like, when I'm a senior, I better get to do that.
Well, COVID might still be around. Yeah. I love it. Our community can always adapt.
I also think it's been really rewarding. I mean, there's been some great things that have come out of this. So
yeah. It hasn't all been bad for sure. So, well, we look forward to seeing Small Business Saturday, the parade, the opening of Christmas in the Pines, opening of the Grimes Christmas scene, all going to happen Thanksgiving weekend. Go to the primevillechamber.com website for more information. Follow them on Facebook. And Kim, thank you so much for joining us and keeping us in the loop of everything you've got planned.
Thank you, Brandy.
Bye.
Bye-bye.